Good Monday morning. I am your host for this podcast, Shooter Storm. I have actually went over some stuff and tried to figure out what kind of name I wanted for this exact podcast. As Katie and I obviously have this channel, which is called Headlocks and Hauntings, which we've actually got some pretty good feedback on lately. We've only had 2 videos upload, but trust me, there's a ton of content that's got to go up. We're just going through the editing phase and things of that nature, waiting for new equipment, which with this Corona deal, it's kind of, the mail's been set back. We've had a lot of issues with the postal service lately. But I will say that, we do have a lot of content coming, and I will inform you guys that we're going to be going, her and I are going to be going on a paranormal trip. I guess you want to call it a road trip, where we're going to be heading down to Las Vegas, California, the West Coast, but we're going to road trip it down there, and we're going to be stopping at a lot of different reportedly haunted locations. So, this channel isn't just going to be like, just seeing the places in northern New York where I am, that there's hauntings, but we are going to be doing investigations throughout, the Northeast all the way out to the West Coast. So, it's going to be our first of many that we do. That's going to be in July. Probably take about 2 weeks, but really looking forward to that, because we got a lot of things coming up that are big for both her and I. Something that, I never say I deserve anything, but and she never says that she deserves anything, but we feel as if, we earned, I guess you could say we've earned it. And that's going to kind of lead into today's, guess I call it a podcast, maybe a vlog. I don't know what the end term is at this point, but, I went ahead and I've named this podcast vlog. It's going to be called, it is called, it's not going to be, it is, as of now, this is the first of times that I will give the name out, and it is Wrestling with ADHD, which plays into today's content of, I'm going to give a little bit of me, and my history of mental health. This is going to be a little somber maybe, but I hope it's eye-opening. Me delivering this to you, to the fans of the channel, and maybe anybody that's watched me over the years, as a professional wrestler, has watched me do stand-up comedy, has watched anything that I do. It's going to show you another side of me, the side that maybe only my very close personal friends and my family members may know, and not all of them know either, so it's something that it might help people out there. I hope this maybe helps anybody going through the same thing to understand, that there is hope and there are people that give a shit about you. So I'm hoping to God YouTube doesn't just cut me off again on this. Let's pray. Let's pray to the YouTube gods. I want to start out with reading something that Katie's got me into the last couple of years, actually, like last 2.5 years. She's something that she went through. I'm not going to give you any of her details of what happened in her life or the struggles that she's been through, but they're incredible, and she has a story which she's been able to share at different functions and let gone in and let people know like what she's been through and all that, and it's a lot, and I'm gonna have her explain that to you guys on the channel sometime soon. But she got me into saying this every day, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. Maybe you can jot it down, type it down, text it down, whatever you want to do. And this is a good way to start your day. And this is what it says: I've seen better days, but I've also seen worse. I don't have anything I want, but I do have all that I need. I woke up with some aches and pains, but I woke up. My life may not be perfect, but I'm blessed. Now, it may sound corny or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you really think of these words and really put them into motion, you'll understand that like they ring true. There's a lot of people that wake up on a daily basis in a lot of pain. A lot of people that wake up each day not knowing where they're going to get their next meal. There's people that wake up, every morning and they're lost. And, I can tell you right now that I've been that guy. I've went through that. I suffer from mental health issues very, very bad. I have for the last 18, 19 years, my adult life. And I think I probably did as younger as well. And that stems back to my childhood. I was mentally, physically, sexually abused as a young man. And I've never let that decide who I am today. It just made me decide of who I never would be. I will never be someone that makes anyone go through anything that I ever went through. I'm not gonna, give out names or whatever who did any of this stuff to me, but it happened. All of this happened. I came from a good family. My brother, Aunt Bonnie, of course, my mother, my sister. I came from a good household. It was none of them that ever hurt me. It was places that I didn't want to go, places that I had to go as a kid. So that being said, it was rough. And I think later on in life, there's things, that come into your mind. They come back to you, and they make you realize like that you have to be able to admit that it happened. And I mean, one of the things, it was something that I had suppressed in my memory for a long time, and finally, as people know with me, as I'm a comedian, and I always try to make jokes and make light of situations. And somebody could die, and as heartbroken as I am, I'll try to make some kind of something that just lightens the mood, I guess. And you can fault me for that, or you could say, "Oh, how inconsiderate of you." But at the end of the day, like, it's not me being inconsiderate; it's me being me. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what I've been through. Just like I don't know what you've been through. Just like I don't know what they've been through. They've been through anyone. So you have to just understand that people handle things in different ways. Now, I do call this wrestling with ADHD because, well, that is one of my mental illnesses. I do have attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And it means I'm all over the place, right? So I'm on medication for that, and also on medication for depression. And I probably should be on something for anxiety. But it's more depression and more, I don't know, deep down sadness maybe. Regrets possibly. What ifs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, and the one thing that I know that I don't regret, and the one thing that I don't say what if is about, is my present, because Katie and I were so much alike, and sometimes that can be bad in a relationship, but for us it seems to work. I love her more than anything. She's been there for me when I thought it was, time for me to check out, and that's not something I'm ever going to do. Eventually I'm going to have to check out. Everybody checks out, but I'm not going to do it because I'm checking out myself. That's not what's going to happen. But I will say that mental health is a very, very, very real thing. And for people that are watching this, that are suffering from that, whether you are a professional wrestler, whether you're not a professional wrestler, whether you're in entertainment at all or not, whether you work 9 to 5 at a grocery store or do whatever, it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. Mental illness does not, have a favorite person. Mental illness, mental health is something that, isn't biased. They'll go after any of you. And, there was times in my life when I said, is it my fault? Is this mental health? Is this thing my issue? Am I crazy? Am I nuts? No. And no, you're not. I'm not crazy. I'm not nuts. Uh, when it comes to as a person, I'm suffering a lot. I'm I go through a lot. And I don't know. This is right off the top of my head, guys. I'm just talking. So this is basically if I were writing in a journal or something, but I'm just spilling it. And this isn't for sympathy. This isn't for anybody to give me any attention. I mean, of course, I want attention on my YouTube page, but this has nothing to do with that. This has to do with maybe opening eyes of other people that are going through these same things but don't know how to talk about it because maybe they're embarrassed. Maybe they feel that, they're the only ones. Well, I can promise you're not the only one. There's 2 people that live in our household that suffer from that. And, we're not it doesn't make us crazy, doesn't make us strange, doesn't make you crazy, doesn't make you strange. It's just something that happens. But I promise you, you can treat it. You can talk with counselors, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever. There's somebody there to talk. There's always somebody there. Like I said, if somebody's going through it and they need to talk, get a hold of me. Get a hold of Katie. Get a hold of us both. Talk to us. We'll help you through whatever it is because we've been on the other end where we needed somebody to help us. So, it's at the end of the day, we're people. We're all human beings and we all deal with human things. The only difference with human beings that don't suffer from mental health and that do suffer from mental health is just it's a little bit more of a tougher road. It's a harder struggle. It's something that, although might not think you can control it, I promise you can ease the sad feelings. You can ease the depression. You can ease all of that. I firmly believe that that's something that can be done. And if you ever feel like, you could, if anybody ever feels if they want to do something that's going to result in never seeing you again or anything like that, trust me, there's someone out there to talk with you. There's someone out there to guide you, help you through it. And on top of all of that, there's the idea that rock bottom is rock bottom. It is rock bottom. But you know what? From rock bottom, the only place you can go is up. Remember that. You could have a shit week, shit day, shit month. But I promise for every shit day, shit week, shit month that you have, there's going to be positive at the other end of the road. So all you got to do is get in there and fight your way to the end of the road. And when you get there, it's going to be all worth it. You live one life. This is it. This is what we got. Be happy when you wake up. Even if you're a grumpy morning person like I am, Katie is, so that usually makes us not want to talk for the first couple hours. That's fine. But be blessed. Feel very happy. Just feel blessed. Yeah, that's the word. Feel blessed that you are awake and that you're breathing and you're here on earth. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of friends over the last few years. I say a decade. The wrestling business is a place where, there's many acquaintances, few friends, and unfortunately there is untimely deaths in any form of entertainment. If people just, party too hard for too long. If people, have any medical conditions, but they love professional wrestling or what they're doing more than anything. And if they had to go out doing what they loved, they did. And then there's the unfortunate way where they take their own lives. And, that kills me inside, being a guy that suffers every single day. Every single day I wake up and I fight. I fight to stay alive. I fight every single day to keep motivated to move forward. But I promise that I always will fight because I'm not going to give up. I've had people, over the last couple years that I at one point considered friends, but they actually turned out to be my worst enemy. They turned out to be complete bullies and completely, try to tear down my character and speak of my deceased mother, speak about my young son. Every little thing you can imagine that they did. They bullied me and ripped me apart. And I wanted revenge. I wanted it in the greatest of ways, but at the end of the day, I decided to just put it behind me, and now it's behind me. Now, those names don't come up. I don't talk about them. They tried to ruin my reputation in professional wrestling, but the true people that knew me, the true people, fans, friends, colleagues, they believed in me, and they knew who I was as a person and knew the things that these people were saying was untrue. So those are the people that I want in my life, the people that believe in me, not the people that up and just, will abandon you just to make it to the next level. And those type of people, I have nothing at all that I need of you in my life. That's just how that goes. I'm gonna jump a little bit here off the mental health, and I'm just gonna give a brief update because a lot of people have asked about my injuries. They asked about my physical well-being. I can tell you guys now that on June 22nd, both Katie and I have appointments with the orthopedic to figure out. She has horrible issues in her lower back. Like, they think she either broke it or tore something or both. She took a bad fall about a year and a half ago. She was sleepwalking and she fell down 30 wooden stairs, and so she's been going ever since. Still just she's a mover and a worker. She's a hard worker. She's always cleaning, doing this, doing that. So that needs to be handled. I want her because her pain is the most important thing for me to help her get taken care of. With me, I've put mine on the sidelines for a while. Only a few people might know this because I've continued to run the wrestling school. I've continued to wrestle on events, but I haven't been me. I haven't been the Shooter Storm that I believe that I know I can be. I get it. I'm a few years older. I'm pushing 40. In the next 3 years, I'm pushing 40, which is fine. But I know for a fact that I am physically, once I am fixed, I have another good run in me, and I want that more than anything. I've had a love-hate relationship with pro wrestling. I've loved it. I've hated it. I've loved to hate it. I've hated to love it. It's just been a thing, but it's been the one constant in my life. The one constant my entire life has been pro wrestling, from when I was a little kid, just as a fan, to when I broke in when I was 18 years old. And I've stayed with it. And like I said, I'm going to be 38 next month. So, okay, it's about 2 years till I'm 40, whatever, who's counting? But I will say that I have to go in to the ortho. I can tell you right now what I was told 2 years ago. Never did anything about it. I have a torn pec right here. I have a torn labrum here, torn rotator in the back, slight tear in my bicep, torn labrum, and torn rotator on this side. So Sounds like a lot, right? Yeah, because it is a lot. And everybody knows that in 2009 I had a broken neck. The old zipper deal right there, and that was fixed. But now it's there's a lot of broken up bones and chips and stuff like that in my neck that are floating around, and they're hitting nerves. They're hitting nerves all the time, which is making my arms go numb. But it's nothing that I can't get fixed. And this is the time that I want to get it fixed. This is the time so I can have one more run. I want to. I until the surgery happens, I'm not sure when it's going to be. Obviously, I won't know till the 22nd or a little after. I'm going to go ahead and get cortisone, 3 cortisone shots to keep me where I'm not in agony at night. Like it's awful. Like I sit there and I have to move my shoulders and my neck constantly. Like I look like I'm twitching all over the place all the time because of those nerves that are just bothering me. The last few matches that I've had, up this way, or a couple that I had to travel for, I haven't been able to give 110%. I've went out there and I've entertained. I've given 110% in my entertainment, but when it comes to the in ring competition, the in ring entertainment, I have a very hard time being able to adjust working in all this pain. Like when my arms go numb, that makes me nervous. So my apologies go out to every single fan that paid their money. Maybe up here, up north, Fight for the Mind events that have wanted to see me in a more high-end match, and I want that as well, because Shane Douglas and I went one-on-one, and luckily the match only went about 40 seconds due to outside interference, and we made that happen, and I'm glad because the one bump the two of us took, I felt my whole right arm go numb. About a little over a year ago, I did a 3-day loop with WWE. I did the Money in the Bank, I did Raw, and I did SmackDown. Tuesday at SmackDown, I was there, and we got to get in the ring and have a 5-minute match. I told the other extras that I didn't want to get in there and have a match at this point because I knew I was hurt. I knew I flubbed my way through the physical at the beginning of the weekend, or the Sunday. The Sunday I went there, the first day, WWE doctors gave me a physical, and I'm coming straight out and saying it right now. I completely flubbed my way through that physical because there was no way I was going to pass that. So I just pretended there was no pain. But every time, anything I did, I could feel the pain. Well, the match went off pretty decent until the very end when this guy that I was working, I'm not going to say anything bad about the guy, however, once it was all done, even though I told him I didn't want to go in there and do this because I didn't want to make him look bad, he ended up jamming his knee into my back and pulling back on my neck, and you just heard like that, and my left arm went numb. So it's not just one side, it's both sides, and he went around afterwards saying, "Oh, you flubbed the end of it." Okay, yeah, I flubbed the end of it, but you're the one that wanted to work with me, and I'm the one that told you I didn't feel comfortable, and you still went along with it. So at the end of the day, who's that on? Not me. Okay, so I'm not gonna rant on that because he was a nice guy, I thought, but people are nice until you get them behind you're behind their back, and then they'll talk all the shit in the world. So, but what I was, I kind of want to quickly end this, not quickly, but I want to, take it home kind of quick here because so far so good on the time on YouTube, so I don't want to, God almighty. So today, Katie and I are going to do a photo shoot. That is something that we're going to get done. We got new promo stuff coming out because I'm going to wrestle again. I'm going to absolutely wrestle again, and it's going to be sooner rather than later. And I want to be able to have one more good couple-year run, and that's what I want. I feel like I still have a lot to give, and yes, I do give. I help, at a lot of events. I help talk to younger guys and give them advice, and that is an awesome thing. Like, that's a good thing when people come up and ask for my advice. And it happens, because, for a small town kid, I did quite a bit in this business, and I feel good about that, and that's a lot of times when my mental health starts acting up. I gotta keep telling myself over and over again that, hey man, like, you did all right for yourself. But I'm a perfectionist in ways where, yeah, I did well for myself, but I want to do better going forward. So, I've got a lot of things going on physically. I think maybe once the surgery's done, I can get the nerves and all that under control, get the tears all tied up, and whatever needs to be done, get done. I've been shaking a lot, like very, very fidgety, shaky, and I think that has to do with nerve stuff. That's something I'm gonna find out here within the next little bit. Um, but I wanted to put some content out here on the channel, Headlocks and Hauntings, and wanted to bring you a vlog, of course, with Wrestling with ADHD. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to a little bit of my struggle, and if it has helped you in any way, give it a like, give it a share. Hopefully, please subscribe first and foremost. This helps. This is the way I'm making money now throughout this pandemic until the wrestling school is able to reopen and I'm able to get back and start doing indie appearances and meet and greets, whatever. So this is how Katie and I are able to, she makes her money too. She does a good job. She does a lot of online stuff and she's doing great. But it's a tough time for everybody. Everybody is having a rough time. I wish the best for everyone, and I hope everybody does great with their, and whether they get their job back or they find their feet and get another job, whichever it may be. I wish the best for everybody, and I want to let everybody know, like I said, mental health wise, if you guys ever need anybody, get a hold of us, comment down below, whatever you got to do, and we'll be glad to try to help you any way we possibly can, or maybe lead you in the right direction. All right, thank you guys very much for listening, and until next time, which will be later on today, we're going to do the haunting part of this, put some footage up, things of that nature. Katie and I will sit down and discuss some haunting stuff. You guys can leave questions and comments at the bottom as well for that we'll be able to answer, or send us direct messages or whatnot. Whichever you guys want to do, whichever you prefer. But give us a like, give us a share, subscribe, and until next time, follow your dreams.